can put that somewhere. I'll go into it whenever I go and chat or whatever the new link.
All I want from you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple
Do you think we can use the old link?
I might be able to paste it into the chat here. I saw on it.
Oh, yeah.
This is other.
I need a few messages. Is it that? All good?
Yep. Don't forget to put it in the thing.
It's to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Let me be a simple kind of man. And do this for me, son, and you can. So baby, be a simple man. Oh, what you do, love me
Thank you. Those we love remain with us, for love itself lives on, and cherished memories never fade because a loved one's gone. Those we love can never be more than a thought away, for as long as there is memory, they'll live on in the heart. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I think we're all only too aware of the truth of those words as we come together today to remember the life of Jarrod Monkley, a young man who leaves so much love and so many memories, and who unfortunately lost his battle with depression in Australia last month. I'm Helen Rutledge, and on behalf of Jarrod's family, I thank you for being here with us today. I know that we'd rather be anywhere but here today, but it's here that we gather, and actually it's unthinkable that we could be anywhere else. We've come here to remember and honour Jarrod's life, give voice to our pain and sorrow, and support each other. And Jarrod's family have truly appreciated the amazing love and support that they've received from their wider family and friends at this difficult time, including your support via Give a Little. And being here today is yet another example of this. So a big thank you to you all. And a special thank you to Jarrod's friends Brandon, Nick and Jordan for their help in making this day so special. And as a group of family and friends who grieve at Jarrod's death, we represent the many more people who knew him during his lifetime, absent family members and friends. In particular, Jarrod's daughters, Ella and Ava, and also his dad's family who are unable to be here, along with family and friends and workmates in Australia and in Canada, all of whom would love to be here, and we know that their love and thoughts are with you all. It is wonderful, however, that we've been able to web stream the ceremony, albeit with a few little technical hitches in the first place, but a special welcome to those of you who are joining us via the internet today. So just be aware that if you are talking, you will be live streamed. The rest of you won't be in the pictures, but if you're up the front, you will be. Now, sharing memories is a really important part of a memorial service, And we're going to hear and see photos representing lots of those today. And we'd love any of you to add to those collections of reflections and stories, either within our service or over refreshments and a drink afterwards. And Jarrod's family see that more informal time of sharing as being a really important part of his send-off. So please do stay and join them for that. There's going to be platters of nibbles served with tea, coffee and non-alcoholic drinks. And there'll be a cash bar open for those of you who'd like something a bit stronger. And during that time, Alicia has created if you just turn around the back, you'll see that there's another photo of Jarrod there. And these hearts are hearts for you to write on in lieu of a memorial book and write on them. And then there's a little slot to pop them down and you'll see that it'll create a collage, one might say, of memories. So it would be really lovely if everyone does one of those hearts. And there's pens there and the hearts. It's great. And just a reminder at this stage, if you haven't turned off your cell phone, now would be a really good time to do that, please. Now today is a day, as I mentioned before, we all feel we shouldn't be here, but we are, and we've come to remember Jarrod, who chose his time to leave last month after losing his battle with depression. There will, however, be no doubt many feelings going through people's minds today, along with the sadness and the pain. There'll be some anger, maybe some guilt, maybe some blame, and all those are completely understandable. However, it's also important to recognise that it was his decision, and we do accept it. We all know that life hasn't been easy for Jarrod and that he's lived with depression for some time. We all wish he'd lived longer, and we also wish that he'd been able to honour his promise of 2012 when he said, "I can pretty much promise that nothing like this is going to happen again. From now on, if I have a problem, I'm going to talk about it." And Jarrod's family certainly did their best to support him through his depression, and our love and thoughts are with them today, with his children, Noah, Ella and Ava, and their mothers, with his mother Zena, father Kain and stepfather Sean, and his siblings Alicia, Natasha, Anna and Angus, Erlene, Sandra, Marcus, Theon and Maria, with his aunties and uncles, and his cousin. Will remember him for his honest and trustworthy nature and his willingness to always be there inside. We'll remember him for his the world to him. And it's recognition of this that we've chosen to begin our service with his son Noah and the light. And after the candles are lit, I'm going to give Noah a book that his nana has written for him from his dad. Ava and Ella will get their books later, but this one's is written especially for him. So if we could have Noah and Angus come forward now, please. There we are. Just let him do what he wants to do, okay? Don't push up. Wonderful. So this is especially for you, Noah. How much do I love you, Noah? Let's see. Fantastic. More than my breakfast? Yes, easily. Cereal and toast are things I adore, but Noah, I love you so very much more. Page. Sisters. So it wasn't unusual to find Jarrod missing from his bouncer or his cot and either being pushed around in a doll's Barbie pram or lying next to his sisters as they played with his dolls. But there was no swaying Jarrod from his first and favourite toy from his much-loved nana, his pull-along Buzzy Bee, for a few years anyway. Jarrod was very much an outside kid. If there was mud to be played in or water to get wet, he was there. His kindy years consisted of cutting and hammering wood and getting into anything wet and messy. Now, Jarrod wasn't too keen on the idea of moving on to school, and even more so when he became big brother a few months later to little sister Anna, and a year later to his little brother Angus. Jarrod just loved babies, and he loved being a big brother even more. And his sisters Natasha and Alicia told me that as children, they were all just best friends. And looking back, they can't believe now how tolerant he was. In particular, they remember him not only being willing to be dressed up in their clothes, but actually loving it. He used to come out into the living room dressed up as a girl and calling himself Jarrod. Anna's particular memory of him as a child was his cuddliness. He was always super affectionate with his siblings, and he and Angus shared a really close relationship too. Now, Jarrod joined Cubs with his sister Natasha and Alicia at the Panmure Scout Hall in 2002, where they met Zantel and Jessie. And although Alicia and Jessie kept their leaders on the toes, Jarrod and the girls managed to stay nicely under the radar each week, completing the activities, enjoying the fun and weekends of kayaking, fishing, and participating in the local Christmas parade. Jarrod started playing rugby at the age of 7 for the Tamaki Rugby Club as a flanker. He was half the size of his teammates, up and out, but that didn't rein in the temper in any way on the field. And even early on, Jarrod was well liked by most, if not all, and it wasn't too long before he started using it to his advantage until a few growth spurts, and there was no denying he had found his calling. Jarrod went on to enrol with the Manarewa Rugby Club and played for the under-10s through the under-13s as a halfback, and then first 5 here and there. After enrolling in Rosehill College in 2009, he joined the school rugby team, Year 9 as a flanker, Year 10 as a first 5, second 5 and fullback, and Year 11 under 70 kilograms as goal kicker and first 5. But unfortunately, he didn't finish the season out due to injury. This hit the team hard, as being both a goal kicker and a playmaker. He was a massive game changer in the team. Jarrod also joined the Karaka Cricket Club in 2009. His friend Nick, who played for Manukau, an opposing team, recalls Jarrod playing for Karaka, where he had an unbelievable season, scoring 50s and 100s left, right and centre. He said he was the talk of the town amongst his team and others, and known as a big threat. Nick said that if you got Jarrod out for a low score, you knew you had a fighting chance of winning. He went on to say that he only got to play cricket with Jarrod for a couple of games that season and was lucky enough to bat with him, both of them scoring 50s. He went on to describe Jarrod as an amazing player to watch and who made everything look so easy. Now, during their teenage years, Jarrod remained good friends with his sisters, and they loved that they were able to crash his parties and had him crashing theirs as well. And just as he wasn't short on siblings, he was far short of friends. A lot of fun, and often liked to play the clown at parties. All the girls liked Jarrod, his sisters told me, and he equally loved the ladies. In fact, it would be fair to say he was definitely a ladies' man. His family also spoke of his moodiness, however, and reflected that he didn't cope well when everything was not running smoothly. And as Zena also reflected, he was very sensitive, but even on his moody days, as stubborn as he was, you eventually got a smile out of him. Now, 2012 was a rough year, and a year that anyone close to Jarrod will never forget. After politely being asked to leave Rosehill College, Jarrod moved between his mother and siblings at home and his father and continued his schooling in a unit at Manukau Polytech. Both of his parents agreed that it wasn't the place for Jarrod, and he was given the opportunity to apply for a job at his father's work. He was successful in getting this on his own merit after an interview, and things seemed to be going okay. But our bright-spirited life of the party had a lot more going on inside his head, and his fall down 9 stories of a 12-story building under construction gave the opportunity to show all that loved him and many more what a true fighter he was. He spent 3 weeks in hospital and a further 8 in rehabilitation. 3 months later, he told the Australian Women's Weekly that he now had hope for the future and that making a return to rugby and cricket was now his main goal. He also said that he believed he'd survived for a reason and was waiting for that to unfold. That can't have happened for nothing, he said. And I think it's fair to say that in the following 8 years, not only did Jarrod achieve his goals in terms of returning to cricket, if not rugby, due to his ongoing back issues, but that he would see the arrival of his 3 beautiful children as that reason. He met Hannah, and although they were no longer together at the time, they welcomed Noah on the 31st of July 2015. Jarrod, well, there was no surprise there. He wanted as much involvement as he was permitted, as both of them went their separate ways and continued into new relationships. Angel and Jarrod shared the birth of Ella Marie on the 12th of December 2015, and later our sweet Ava May Madison on the 16th of August 2017, and he couldn't have been a more devoted dad. Jarrod also returned to playing cricket. In fact, that he said that in 2017 that it was his love of cricket that helped him through those tough times following his fall. I really love cricket, he told a Courier Times reporter. I always have. And the desire to play again was one thing that drove my recovery and rehabilitation. And just as he pulled off a miracle in surviving and getting back into sport at all, while playing for the Karaka Cricket Club senior A-grade team, he pulled off a cricketing miracle of sorts, dismissing all of the opposition batsmen in 1 innings. He bowled 5 batsmen, had another 4 caught and 1 trapped leg before, and finished with figures of 10 for 31 of 16 overs. I just think it's amazing. And 15 for 65 for the match. Not only that, he took 5 for 34 in the first innings, and he scored 54 in the first innings and 46 in the second, hitting the winning run. And this amazing feat had his name clearly on the honours board at the Karaka Cricket Club. Now, as Jarrod continued to play the cricket that he loved so much, working to support his family, juggling 2 full-time little ones and 1 part-time little one together, apparently Australia became more inviting. He and Angel finally got their own place to raise their 2 girls together in September 2018, and family life continued there until Angel and the girls moved back in 2019. Jarrod didn't find it easy without his little family in Australia, and his family agreed that his visit home to New Zealand at Christmas was not an easy one. That said, he was an extremely loving member of the family who could always have anything from a deep and meaningful conversation to having a joke to being short and a grump. They tell me that you knew when you'd pissed him off, and no one was immune. But it never stopped him grabbing a few beers a few days later, lying back on the bed, talking till all hours or on the back doorstep. When everything was good, things were great, but it only took one thing not to be, and everyone would hear it. Now, Jarrod's mother describes him as being straight up like his sisters, saying you always knew where you stood. But if it was in the naughty corner, you knew it wasn't forever. Jarrod may not have been shy when it came telling you he was pissed off, but he was equally not shy telling you he loved you, missed you, and even more how he was feeling, which makes being today here even more of a struggle for those who are closest to him. As his mother says, he was more open than most and expressed his feelings openly, and he talked to many family members and friends who reached out for him over the last couple of months, as they encouraged him to come back to New Zealand. And his family truly appreciate those who cared and listened to him during those months. So that was quite a lot about his early years, and we're going to have the opportunity to share in some of those memories now through photos. Anna's put the photos together to represent 3 parts of Jarrod's life, and here are the ones that represent his early life.
Way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. And the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. And the dream that you did to, oh why can't well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. And everything you do, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you. And all the things you do, it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. You know I love you so. You know I love you so. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do. It was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. You know I bleed myself dry. You know I bleed myself dry. It's true. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. And all the things you do.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Anna. Yes, I think you could see from those slides, and I'm sure everybody knows how fortunate Jarrod was to share his childhood within a close family, including the extended family. So we're going to hear some memories from them now. But first, his mum has written some words which I'm going to share on her behalf. You were my first son, and I loved you immensely. You may not have been my youngest, but everyone knew you were my baby. You may not have been the easiest with your stubborn, moody personality at times, but you made up for it with your cheeky smile and your big hugs. I'm going to miss my "Hello, Mother, I love you" messages, but I'm going to miss your hugs and your smile even more. Life will never be the same without you in it. Life will never be quite the same now that you've gone. So thank you, Zena, for sharing those words with us. And Jarrod's sisters, Natasha and Anna, have also got memories to share with us. So first, Anna.
Jarrod is my older brother. I can't imagine I will ever use the word was. I think we are all extremely lucky to have been a part of Jarrod's life. I looked up to him so much. All my memories are the typical big brother things, but they mean so much to me. You were 5 years old when I was born. I was told you were so excited. You were no longer the youngest, but I think everyone knew from a young age you had a love for babies. I grew up thinking you were the coolest. You were so into sports and rugby, and I did anything you told me to do, even if it was telling me to try out what dog food tasted like. I just wanted to impress you all the time. As you got into WWE, I was more than happy to be your losing opponent on the trampoline. I weirdly had your school photo taped up on my bunk bed above me when you moved out to your dad's. I don't think you even knew that. I'm glad you never did. I would always make things for you, like rugby ornaments and New South Wales league board cutouts. Years after I made these, I went to your house and saw that you had them on your bedside table, and honestly, that made me so happy. Jarrod loved to make forts with me. He was probably around 13, 14 years old, and it was the night before Christmas. He made us a fort, and we stayed up all night so we could be the first up, ready to open our presents, even though he already knew what he was getting, and I helped him rip bits of wrapping paper to see what we were getting. He used to always let me play PlayStation with you, no matter how much older you got. I'm going to miss him so much, but at least I'll have these memories to hold on to, and many more. I hope you're at peace now, Jarrod, and you're in a better place, and I love you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Anna. And now I'm going to pass over to Natasha, and I'm just going to try and do something about that sound as well.
My childhood my childhood best friend, my number one support on my very first day of school. You came and sat on the mat with me when I was so nervous. I didn't want you to leave. As kids, my friends were your friends and yours were mine. We were all so close growing up, and I'm so grateful for the many memories we had over the past nearly 25 years. The dressing up in my clothes, the pretend weddings when you wanted to marry Melissa Tordich. When you hurt yourself, I cried more than you did. Such a wimp I was, and still am. That last hug, I will forever treasure. The pain is real, Jarrod. We're a clan. Remember? Five's enough was Mum's number plate growing up. We will always be that family of 5 crazy kids, and even though you're not here, it still remains. I miss you, and I wish I could see you just one last time to tell you that I love you. I will forever miss you. I will treasure our memories and be so grateful that I got to have you as my brother.
Fantastic, both of you. Thank you so much. Now, Jarrod's cousins in Australia are really sad not to be here today too. So they've sent some tributes, which I'm going to share on their behalf. And first from Jaden, Alicia, Jace and Brianna. Hey cuz, obviously I couldn't make it due to COVID, but I miss you every day. I miss our morning chats. I wish this was a bad dream that I could just wake up from. Just feels like yesterday we were running around the rugby pitch and causing chaos. I wish we could go back to those days when everything was so simple and we didn't have a single worry. I miss you so much, and I can't believe you're gone. I love you, man. You're the strongest person I've ever known. You would do anything for anyone, a heart of gold. We have plenty of memories together, such as stealing your dad's Skyline that night and racing guys with your little motorbike, and your old man finding us. Didn't end too well for us, eh? Sure there's more to that story. I know you're in a better place now, bro, and you finally got the peace that you deserve. You are an amazing father, and I'll make sure that no one ever forgets Jarrod Monkley. So thank you to Jaden for that. And now from Taylor. When I heard you'd gained your wings, I was in disbelief that my cousin had left and I would never get the chance to hear your voice, give you a hug, message you on Facebook, or just share a laugh together. Holding on to hope that this was just a nightmare, reality has now hit me that you are high above us, watching down upon us as we say our goodbyes and celebrate your life. I never looked at you as my little cousin. I always saw you as my little brother. And even though we grew up and went our own ways in life, you always remained important to me. Growing up with Jarrod was far from boring. We would always be doing something, whether it was playing cricket, riding our bikes, playing with other kids, causing trouble with other kids, and eventually getting ourselves into trouble. You were always a strong fighter, never gave in to nobody, a real strong-minded man you were. Jarrod was a good mate to many and definitely well known around school. Every day I would hear his name mentioned and I'd think to myself, oh, what's he done now? Knowing that he was always up to mischief. He sure did make the Monkley name known around school between teachers and the students. Jarrod was that one boy in school you didn't want any trouble with. There was never a dull moment when Jay was around, and he would either make you smile, make you laugh, make you cry, or just make you shake your head. You'll always live on and through the hearts of your children, and I know that they'll always be reminded of how amazing their father was, how dedicated he was to his babies, and how much love that he had for them. Sadly, I can't be there with you today to farewell you, Jarrod, but my love and support is with you all. Jarrod, I will always be thankful for the memories we've had together, having you as my cousin that I had to grow up with. I will treasure every memory of us forever, and I will look up at that sky and say hello to you every day. Never did I think I would be saying goodbye to you this early in life. You didn't give up, you just grew tired, and that's okay. Your home now, my handsome cousin, is where you belong, in your homeland, surrounded by everyone who has had the pleasure to know you and by those who love you. This day is all about you and how you made a name for yourself throughout your life. So I hope you're looking down and having a laugh at the stories that are being shared about you. This isn't my final goodbye. This is my see you later, my cousin, until we have the chance to meet again. Until then, rest up, rest easy, rest in peace. Your story has finished. So now let's see some more photos of things that have been spoken of as we watch the second slideshow. And during this, you might just like to bring to mind some memories of your own, either to share after the photos or over a drink after the service. Thanks, Anna.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind the lies. And no one knows what it's like to be hated, to be failure, to telling only lies. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours, only lonely. My love is vengeance that's never free. No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings like I do. And I blame you. No one bites back his heart on their anger. none of my pain and woe can show through, but my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours only lonely, where love is vengeance that's never free. Discover. No one knows what it's like to be mistreated, to be defeated behind blue eyes, and no one knows how to say that they're sorry. Don't worry, I'm not telling lies, but my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours only lonely, where love is vengeance that's never free. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes.
This is the greatest and best song in the world. Tribute. Long time ago, me and my brother Kyle here, we was hitchhiking down a long and lonesome road. All of a sudden, there shined a shiny demon in the middle of the road. And he said, "Play the best song in the world, or I'll eat your soul." Well, me and Kyle, we looked at each other, and we each said, "Okay." And we played the first thing that came to our heads. Just so happened to be the best song in the world. It was the best song in the world. Look into my eyes and it's easy to see. 1 and 1 make 2, 2 and 1 make 3. The destiny. Once every 100,000 years or so, when the sun don't shine and the moon don't glow, and the rest of the go home. Needless to say, the beast was stunned. A whip crack wrenches from the tail, and the beast was done. He asked us, "Be you angels?" And we said, "Nay, we are but men." Rock. This is not the greatest song in the world. No. This is just a tribute. couldn't remember the greatest song in the world. Now this is a tribute to the greatest song in the world. Alright, the greatest song in the world. Alright, the greatest song in the
And the peculiar thing is this, my friends, the song we sang on that fateful night, it didn't actually sound anything like this. It's just a tribute. You gotta believe and I wish you were there. To the battle of opinion. Good God, God of him. I saw some bright fire, yes, I'm him. I'm firing you in a pile. These motherfuckers are busting yours.
Much. And I think you could all see in all of those photos that Jarrod was not short on friends, as well as not being short on cousins or siblings. And I talked to some of his friends last week, and they described him to me as being an all-round awesome mate who was always there for you and always had your back. They also spoke of his honesty and his trustworthiness and his willingness to stand up for what he believed in. And it seemed as if there was quite a bit of mischief that went on with Jarrod and his mates at Rosehill College, and they all looked out for each other. And Jarrod wasn't afraid to stand up for himself or his mates, and they really appreciated that in him. But his passion for and his natural giftedness in sport, especially in rugby and cricket, was also highlighted by his mates. Nick commented that when Jarrod picked up cricket in year 9 at school, it was as if he'd been playing it all his life, and that he was both a natural bowler and batsman. Similarly, although his preferred position in rugby was his first 5, he could actually play in any position and was a fantastic goal kicker. And Nick also spoke of Jarrod's decision-making and leadership skills on board. And Nick also admired Jarrod's strength and determination in overcoming the roadblocks and his missed trips with him to West Auckland for rehab, and Jarrod's appreciation of the support of his mates who fundraised to assist in his recovery. Now, Brandon and Jarrod have been great mates since starting high school, and so he's going to come and share some of his thoughts and memories with us now. Thanks, Brandon.
For those of you who don't know me, my name's Brendan. I was one of Jarrod's longest serving mates. It's with great sadness I stand here today to celebrate the life of a great dad, a great uncle, a great brother, a great son, and a great mate. Jarrod's life was taken away from us way too soon. It's hard to understand why these things happen to such good people. However, this is a question without an answer. We should not dwell on the loss of Jarrod, but today celebrate his life and remember all the remarkable things Jarrod accomplished. We also need to remember life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but those moments that take our breath away. It feels like yesterday that I first knocked on his door when we became neighbours to ask if he wanted to play backyard cricket. Jarrod was in year 9, I was in year 10. Straight away we had an instant bond through our passion of cricket. I met Jarrod the first time when he had just started playing cricket and I was in his team at school. He was incredibly natural at it. I invited him to play at the Karaka Cricket Club In his first season, he became one of our best players. No one could quite believe how good he got so quickly. I think about just about every day after school, we'd be outside on the driveway playing cricket. It was pretty serious stuff too. So all that backyard cricket, I think I can take credit for Jarrod being such a good cricketer. Yeah, right. We loved our cricket so much we'd often miss the school bus to go to school and just play cricket all day, or play cricket on the PlayStation. Over the next 10 years, we certainly had our ups and downs during our friendship. Both being stubborn bastards, never helped the situation. You're an invaluable member of the Karaka Cricket Club and will be sorely missed to the whole Karaka family. You'll be remembered for your infectious, cheeky smile and for your all-time club record of 10 wickets for 31 runs against Jury that will probably never be bettered. Jarrod, I appreciate your friendship and I will never forget you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brandon. And now, is there anyone else who'd like to share a thought or a memory? Yes, thank you.
So my name's Baha. Just a few quick memories about Jezza. Well, firstly, to his family and friends, on behalf of our cricket club, I'd like to send our condolences to you guys. Yeah. Seeing him at Christmas time, he looked really positive and looked good. I remember being out at Jury and sitting on the sideline with Kain and basking in each other's pride and joy as both our sons batted together out there that day. I remember him getting his Prem cap. When you first play a game for the Prems, there's a capping ceremony and you get presented your cap. I got presented my cap at the same time as him, so it was quite, that's another fond memory I have of him. Managed to spend a weekend away in Taupo with him one weekend on a Prem trip. Now, I'll probably get in trouble for this, but there's one little story I wanted to tell. And it was just on the bus ride down. It was like a scene out of Cheech and Chong movie. He's in the back seat as we pull into KFC in Matamata. Who knows what everyone was thinking outside the van. He did a TV interview one day, trialling out a new cricket pitch at Cracker one day, and TV3 come down and did an interview with him afterwards, and it was a great, good moment for the club to get on TV and promote the club and talk about this wonderful pitch, and they asked for his comments on it, and so many words. He basically said the pitch was shit and he never wanted to play on it. So that was kind of funny there for Niraj. I don't think he saw the pitch after that. One of the nicknames we gave him was Anal Kumli, because of the miracle at Siberia that he did that day when he took 10 wickets. I know a few of the lads are here who played in that game. I turned up late and I managed to sit on the sideline and watch most of the day too. I think with Ange and his little girl. I think there was just the three of us there that day watching. He got the 10 wickets, but he got 3 wickets early on and then had a spell. And then there was probably 20 overs where the rest of the team couldn't take another wicket. And then they brought him back on, and then he took the next 7 in a quick time. And it will always be a miracle at Siberia, and we'll never forget that, and we'll never forget him. So thanks very much, and oh well.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else now who'd like to share a thought or a story? I know there's going to be lots shared over the drinks afterwards. So what we'll do now is watch our final photo show, this one representing the later part of Jarrod's life.
I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes, a curiosity, dust in the wind. All they are is dust in the wind. Same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away, and all your money won't another minute by. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind.
I think before I go on, I'm just going to add a little that will be a surprise to Zena and the family, but I'd just like to acknowledge what a wonderful job all of them have done today in creating this wonderful celebration of Jarrod's life. And as all the memories have been shared, it's just reinforced for me what an amazing young man we're farewelling today. A great sportsman, a valued mate, an amazing son, brother, uncle, and above all, a doting dad. And it's with such sadness that we acknowledge the battle that he had with depression, a battle that he decided was just too difficult to win. We also acknowledge the love, support and care that so many of you have given to him during his difficult times. So a big thank you to you all for that. But his family have chosen a verse that reflects the message that he leaves you with, and I'd like to share that with you. It's on the back of your service sheets if you'd like to follow along. It's called I'm Free. Don't grieve for me, for now I'm free. I could not stay another day to laugh, to love, to work or play. Tasks left undone must stay that way. I've found that place close of day. If my parting has left a void, then fill it with remembered joy, a friendship shared, a laugh, a kiss. Ah, yes, these things I too will miss. Be not burdened with times of sorrow. I wish you the sunshine of tomorrow. My life's been full, I've savoured much. Good friends, good times, a loved one's touch. Perhaps my time seemed all too brief. Don't lengthen it now with undue grief. And Jarrod also leaves a message for his children, and this one here is for Noah, who's having a nice sleep there, but I'm going to share it with everyone else. Dear Noah, you made me feel like a superhero. You gave me superpowers. You made my eyes shine brighter than the sun and my smile bigger than the moon. I couldn't stay longer, but I knew you'd be okay because you made your mummy a superhero too, and she's with you every day. If ever you miss me, just look up in the sky. I will always be there. This isn't goodbye. But now it is time to say goodbye, at least until the stars come out tonight. So I'm going to invite you all please to stand as we do say goodbye to Jarrod. Oh, don't worry, Hannah. So we stand here as the family and friends of Jarrod Monkley to acknowledge our farewells to him. And as we do so, we acknowledge the passing of an amazing son, brother, father, uncle, and friend. We give thanks for all of Jarrod's life. And as we say goodbye to him today, I'd just like to share a short verse to end our service. It's called We Shed a Tear. We shed a tear for Jarrod's tomorrows that he will never know. We shed a tear for his yesterdays, for the fears he could not show. We shed a tear for our todays as we offer him goodbye. We shed our tears of sorrow as we let his spirit fly. We trust he is contented in his journey. So that ends our service. So I invite you all now to please stay on, join the family, share more memories, and really celebrate Jarrod's life over a drink and refreshments. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying thanks. Just